Hello YouTube, this is Ready Set Exploit and we're back doing Wreath part 2. And you may notice the IPs are a little bit different right off the bat. It's because when I was recording part 2 before, I completely lost connection to the server. The network just died, so I had to kind of restart everything again to bring up to where we were. So a quick recap is we took over a Linux server, and then we use that to tunnel through a Windows server and get administrative access that way. We use Socat and some SSH tunneling. And now we have a new target, which is a Windows 2 server that we're going to try to get access on. But the trick is only the Windows server has access to it. So we're going to go ahead and make our way. So I'll move to this quickly in case I lose access to the network again, but I'll make sure to touch on all the big points to make sure that we don't miss anything. So first thing is first is we had access as the administrator, right? And we know that our Linux server could not reach the other Windows machine, but we know that we have to now find out if our new Windows machine can reach to it. So if we Google something like PowerShell Mafia GitHub port scan, invoke port scan, there's this script here that can do a port scan for us on PowerShell. You could just download it, right? You could use wget. So wget, download this thing here, and we're gonna move it to our PS scripts. I created a directory called PS scripts or PowerShell scripts, and now we're gonna go ahead and do -s. To load up our scripts into memory so that we could go ahead and perform our port scan. So first thing is, once we're there, we're going to go ahead and run this. And once that's loaded, we're going to do host. And the IP address is 10.200.1.1.100. If that doesn't match with the IP address from the previous video, like I said, I had to restart the whole connection, download a whole new VPN. So, but the idea is the same. If anything, I'm gonna go ahead and update my IP addresses here, so that way we're not entirely lost. I'm gonna be lazy and do this. S 50.1.85.23 to the, so we're just gonna do a little bit of Z magic here. There you go. Same thing here. 200.10.200.101.200. I'm gonna save it each time. And we're gonna do 10.200.84.150 to 10.200.101.150. And we can edit this one to 100. There you go. Now we're not lost. So have everything set up. So our Windows machine can connect, and we have two ports open only, 3389 for RDP and port 80. So how can we access it? Our machine, our Kali Linux machine, cannot even connect to Windows 1 without the tunnel, and the CentOS machine cannot connect. So it's going to be pretty simple. Might be confusing, but I already had the tunnel drawn up. And it's gonna be I have the Chisel client here. So actually I'm gonna upload Chisel. If you're not sure of the tool, you just Google it. It's just a way to create more tunnels similar to SSH. Chisel GitHub. Right here. Go to releases. Download. If you're using Debian, right here, AMD, there's one for the architecture, and Windows AMD here. So, what that uploads, what we're gonna do is we wanna reach this target on port 80, right, from our Windows machine, us. So, we're gonna open up a port with Chisel server on 9999. CentOS is gonna use the Socat to relay anything going to port 9998 to 9999. And then we're gonna use Chisel to here to redirect anything from port 80 on our new target, because they connect, to port 80 that's gonna go through 9998 to 9999 to us. So port 80 will be open to us. Right now it's not, right? So that's what's gonna happen. So let's go ahead and start our Chisel server. We're listening. Now, another thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna download the source code for the site we're gonna be. And we found it on the last video. It's actually in Git stack repository. Actually, repositories. Website.git. And I already have it downloaded, but I'm gonna show it downloading only because I want to fix it doesn't download correctly. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna show you how I fixed it, and then by downloading it. But I already have the source code, so we'll cover that part because this will take a while to download, right? See, it's already there. Source code is already here. It's already fixed. So while it does that, we have the server going. What we're gonna do is now we're gonna start a relay. Socat TCP-L for listening. We're gonna do on port 9998. It could be any port, but I like to keep them close. TCP, our IP address 74. And that's gonna go to 9999 because that's what we're listening on Chisel, right? And we're gonna send that to the background. And last time I have to check that it stayed open because it didn't. It closed up. Firewall.cmd zone equals public add port 9998. So that we open this. What did I miss? TCP. Let's make sure we are listening. We are. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna do. Did it upload? So Chisel.exe. We're gonna do the CentOS IP, which is here because that's where the Chisel client has to go to. Chisel client port 9998 because then it's gonna tunnel it to 9999. If we didn't have a tunnel, this would be our IP 9999. The IP we want to open locally, which it's gonna be port 80 on my machine. If I put 8000, it'll open up 8000 on my Kali VM. And the target port, which is the one we want to connect to. And the port we want to connect. And if done correctly, let's see, oh, forgot the word client. We're the client. You get an error, but if you did it right, you'll get connected. Server, connected. We're open on port 80. So if we go to our local host, because that's where it's being tunneled through, we see the site. Now, it looks just like the first site, but if you get a tool like Weaponizer through the add-ons, you'll see that this is using, where did it go? PHP. It also highlights Python, but if we go to our first site, right here, which now I realize I have to change the host file. There we go. If we go here, it shouldn't show. If it does, I'll laugh. It doesn't show PHP. So you could run GoBuster on this, but I think this is still downloaded. Yeah, it's still downloading. I downloaded the source code before, so we'll go there. It is a Git repository. You won't see these files on the download, and I'll show you how to fix it. But we have this resources directory, which if you run something like GoBuster, it'll show. It wants credentials, which we actually have from the last video. Is Thomas's I Heart Ruby, due to password reuse, we log into this image, right? And again, I'm going to show everything from before. You see I have my two payloads here. Payload from before. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to do, I'm going to remove, alright, there you go. Didn't mean that. So you have this image upload functionality. If we go back to our source code, and we go to resources, we have the index file, and this has how it works. So there's two things we have to bypass. First, it mentions the uploads directory, which we have, but it's forbidden, right? We can try doing, so we do, the way I have that image use sample PNG, you could just download the first file you see. So the source code actually tells us that it just uploads the image as is. But we can also test that. If you're not familiar with PHP, that's fine. Could do that. Upload. It took it. Sample.png. File is there. And that is good news, because that means the name is not being hidden from us. You see all the stuff I did here from before. I'm just going to clear that out. So once the file uploads, right, it says file, get files, name. So there we go. It says file temp name, but it's just file name. And it checks for these extensions, PNG, GIF, JPG, JPG. If the file exists already, exits, die. There's this get image size. So this is just an image checker. It checks for the headers of the file just to make sure that it is an image. This can be tricky to bypass, but it's not impossible. And then it says if not in the array, so in the list, explode. So explode, it just parses through the list. The separator is period. So it's kind of like image1.png. So the file name, and it says out of the file name, right, the first item in the array, which actually happens to be the extension, it's equal to good extensions, which is here. So as long as the name in the array is a good extension, then if it's not, then it fails. If it is, it uploads it, right? So that's what it does. It explodes, it separates, because it's saying in the array. So explode is separating the file name by a period, and then in the array we are remaining, right, the file name, the extension, and then it checks it. Otherwise it uploads it. So we basically, that's actually the easier bypass. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the first bytes out of my sample image. Gotta go back. One more. And because that's usually how image can be determined, we're going to call it, and this is how we bypass the first thing, because this would be item 2 in the array, or item 3 technically, but it'll be number 2 on it. So that's how we'll bypass it, because it'll still check that this in the array is valid, right? And now we're gonna go to the very bottom, because we know it's running PHP. Shell exec request RSE. There we go. So we can, this is how we're gonna upload this file with a reverse shell at the end. And what we're gonna do is now we're going to turn on our burp. It's already on. Gonna upload it, select all file types. There it is. It went through. Get this thing, go to our proxy, go here, send it to a repeater, rsc.png.php. Okay, we have a response to 100. Okay, there's our file, there's our PHP trying to read. Change the request to post, rsc, who am I? Who am I? Oh, I definitely messed something up. Oh yeah, should be it. Who am I? Oh, let's copy RSE, call it RSE2. See, we need the echo, otherwise it's, I mean, it'll still work, it'll still run the commands, but we want to be able to see it, right? So Ruby files, I could do it simpler if we go to proxy. Where is it? Oh, okay, I guess somewhere there, doesn't matter. We're gonna upload it again. Did I edit it? I definitely didn't. So echo will just show this command. And that's what we're missing. Let's go ahead and upload it again. I'm gonna repeat the step with a 2. There we are. We are Thomas, ref PC. So we have remote code execution. Now, by now, should have downloaded. See the big file here. Let's just call it whatever. Right? You don't need this right now. For the next piece. So if we go to CD whatever, we see this here. We're gonna change it to Git, because if we look at it, these are Git files. If you're not sure, we could look at the Git repository we downloaded earlier. There's also a Git repository, and we see the files are the same. So if we do git log, oh, we have to move it. There we go. If we do git log, we see some commits, but where are the files like the one I showed before? Let's git check out that. It fails. So git, we have to do git config unset core bear. And you Google this error and it'll show you exactly where it is. So if you Google that error, this page, dev.to, there's the command. Do it, you get that, and then we do git checkout that, and then there's our files. So we can delete that. So now, we want to get remote code execution here. Firewall is tight on this one, so our payload from the first video won't work. But we have Netcat does work on this one. So if we do statics, well, you won't have this, but I'll show you where you can get it. You just Google static Netcat GitHub. I think it's static. Yes, it is that one. By Andrew D. So we go to binaries, Windows, x64. That's not it. x64.exe, GitHub static. There we go, this one. INTOX33. You download this 32-bit, download this one, and you have a nice copy of Netcat on your system. So now we want to be able to upload it there, right? So can this machine, now we know CentOS couldn't communicate, do another copy, through us, but we're listening on port 8, I'm under 1337. But can the Windows machine talk to the CentOS? So we're gonna do something. I'm gonna open up port 1337. Port 1337. I'm gonna use Socat to do another relay. It's gonna be a simple one. I'm gonna forward everything to my machine on 1337, and I'm not gonna send it to the background because this one doing through the HTTP is tedious. I'm gonna just open it up, and I'm gonna see if my machine can talk to it. So let's do see if we can do a quick download. Let's see. See if this one works. CMD-C. Let's try this. CMD-C. No. PowerShell IWR URI HTTP our CentOS IP that was from before, don't want to edit it, so here HTTP 1337 we're trying, so if we're testing, we might as well try to download it, right? Out file, and we're gonna try, we know our user is Thomas, so it's gonna be users Thomas downloads nc.exe. I'm gonna do another one, and we're just gonna do directory.exe. Now I'm going to URL encode, Control U, and if that's turned on, this is now my HTTP server. If I did it correctly, we got a response. So our Windows machine can talk to the CentOS, but CentOS just can't talk to the machine. And if we check, know what I meant. Let's see. It did not like it. Let's make sure you have everything right. I did it. So can I? Okay. So let's make sure our commands are still working. Directory users. Okay. Thomas. Downloads. There it is. So netcat.exe. I think it didn't like that maybe it just typoed something. So now we can try to get a reverse shell. So see, after it downloaded, it just dies. So we're gonna go ahead and do another LWrap. And we're gonna do the same thing since we know it can talk to us. We're gonna open port, we're gonna do 4443. And we're gonna do Socat back to us, 4443, 4443. We're gonna send it to the background. So it's gonna tunnel it back to us through port 4443. We're listening. And now let's hope that this works. So cmd -c, C. We're gonna go to our CentOS OS. We're gonna do. Can't do 443. We have to do 4443 -e PowerShell. Sometimes this works. It does. Sometimes you don't have to URL encode it. Sometimes you do. If it doesn't work without it, then try it with the URL encode, because you'd be surprised when it doesn't. It doesn't. I had that happen when it didn't work without it, and then I URL encoded, and it worked. And sometimes I have to URL encode every character, and it works. But we have a reverse shell, and in Windows 2. But we're the Thomas user. Now, this machine has a lot of vulnerabilities, right? The one I didn't get to try, which I'm going to try real quickly, is Print Nightmare, which we can check if it's on. I think John Hammond Print Nightmare. Let's see, I believe it is vulnerable. Nightmare. Then I'll show the way you're supposed to do it, but that way we can maybe get a quick win. So we can do git clone that CVE. We're going to do reb shell. Yeah, that's fine. Reb shell. We're going to move CVE. We're going to call it Nightmare. This one. And we're going to listen again on that server. Actually, this might not work, but we'll try it. Can't hurt, right? So we're here, and resources download. Let's go ahead and see. We're opening on port 1337. We know that's there, so maybe I can use this. Or actually, I could do it from a reverse shell, but I don't want to lose it. So I do. I'm gonna take a chance to do it from here. So I'm gonna do IEX new object. Let's see if this. Well, let's actually check if it's running. Get service name spooler. It's running. So let's give it a shot. IX new object net web client, download string, HTTP, where is it? There you go. Target port. We're going to do the same thing as before. Listen there. Rep shell 1337 nightmare.ps1, and this is going to load it into memory. It should work. Download string. Let's see. Let's see. Did you make it? Didn't make it. So I definitely missed something up. So IX new object net web client download string HTTP. Okay, so maybe it just doesn't want to. Oh, okay. Forgot hit. We got a hit. So now we could do invoke nightmare. Do new user. Now we could do. I can do RSE wins. C wins 1 2 3. New password. RSE wins 1 2 3. I'm gonna do a little complicated. And I think it worked. Net user RSC wins 1 2 3. And yeah, so that's one way to do it. So for example, so pretty easy, it's pretty nightmare, right? Let's listen to another payload. And let's go to users, Thomas, downloads. Oh wait, no, that won't work. So let's see. I wonder if this will work. So what's the host name? refpc. Okay. We do username equals, do this quickly, refpc RSC wins 1 2 3. Password equals, where we go. So we added our RSC wins as an administrative user. Password. We're gonna do sectsr secure string. All right. Secure string is gonna be new object, type, name, system.security.secure string. I think I got that right. Come on. Let's see. Oh, okay. Oof. Got scared, I almost lost it. Password dot 2 character array. So for each object scstr append character there. Let's see, password to character array for each dash object. I could be CSTR pen character. Yeah, There we go. There we go. So now credentials equals new object type name system management automation PS credential argument list. Do username SEC str secure string. Yep. Now we do invoke command script block. Could do who am I. Credential cred to computer localhost, and it didn't like it. Computer, I don't know, what was it called? Ref PC. Let's see, invoke, okay, whoops. Okay, so it just didn't, so all that, it didn't work, but we did add a user. Okay, command ref PC. So if we wanted access to this to 3389, we'll have to create another tunnel, but our access is denied, so it's okay. Because net user RSC wins. Maybe I can do that. 1, 2, 3. I can theoretically start a new client, new Chisel client, connect it, and see if that works. So maybe we could try it at the end. But for now, let's go the way we're supposed to. So the way we're supposed to find a vulnerability, if you go to hack tricks, Windows privilege escalation, one of the tricks, and I think if you do something like WinPiece, you'll find it, is unquoted service path. The way it works is it has this command here, and this part breaks it. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to copy all this, and I don't think it should be an issue. There we go. But it's not very nice. Let's do it again. There we go. So you see these quotes? All these commands have quotes except for this one. This one right here for System Explorer Service. And the way it works is when Windows looks at the binary, it executes if there's a space somewhere in there. You see? So it'll go without the quotes. It looks at program exe, then it looks at program files, right? Because there's a space here. Some exe because there's a space, and then all the way to service until it gets to the binary it wants. And in this case, the final binary is System Explorer 64.exe. But we have a space. We have a space right here, right? So if we can write here or here, we could write a binary called system.exe. We're golden. So let's check this directory, and we could use iCalcs. And if we look at who am I, there's groups. We are the users group, and we have full access as those groups to this folder, which means we can write to it. So if we go here, we can write a binary called system.exe, and we can turn off the service, which we have the name for, turn it back on, and it'll execute our binary whatever we want. So we could do reverse shell Windows GitHub. There's one that's really good that I like. Here, by DeathFrog. Copy this. Done with Nightmare. For now. Git clone. Go. There we go. I went to my base directory. C reverse shell. There we go. And we're going to go to the bottom. There we go. We need our IP address. Okay. I have my keyboard all messed up. There we go. I'm going to do 10.50.102. Actually, no. We need a relay. We need a relay. So the relay is going to be to our here, to that IP. We could do the same port. Don't think I need the quotes. I didn't. Could do the same one. And do 10.200.101.200. Same relay as before, but we need to download this. And it actually tells you what command to run here. I686. It's a long command, but see, we're going to call it system.exe. I'm going to copy this. System 1 over, go back, call it HTTP server again, and we're going to do the same thing as before. So let's see, we're going to download it to our because we already have it here, right? We already have this here. So we might as well make another copy, call this system.exe, call it system.exe. Listening. I want to download it to our downloads folder because we know we can write there. And now what we're gonna do is copy. Let's see. We're gonna copy our directory. Yeah, copy. Is there a copy command? Yeah. I'll just use copy item. I'm sure there's a copy that's gonna come in now. So we're gonna do users. Thomas downloads system.exe through C. I should probably just copy that one, right? Yeah, there it is. So now we can start it. Oh, so now we need to have our reverse shell ready. And as long as I didn't mess this up, that is our, yeah, 4443. Okay. So now we have to do same thing. Is it already listening? It's not, as you see. So what we have to do is send this. Oh, it's already in use. Okay. Probably should have done it differently. Yeah, let me just do a different port, just because. See version, because I don't want to mess this up. I'll do 4. I'll do 4. Why not? And we're gonna download it again. Let's see. Let's listen. Let's hit it. Download it. Gonna copy it. There we go. That's the new one. And now we're gonna listen to. We can still listen to 4443. It's just gonna be a different port. We're gonna do. We need to grant it permission. We could still forward to the same port. There we go. And now what we're gonna do is we need to find out the name of the service, which was this one. So first we do sc.exe stop sc.exe start. It's gonna hang for a bit, but as long as the relay is good, it is not listening. Oh, okay. I was scared a second, mainly because when I did SSLMPT, I didn't see the port listening. I thought I should have, but maybe it doesn't show for some reason. But anyway, so maybe it would have worked before. But there we go. We have a shell as system, right? And like anything usually that's under program file, System Explorer will run as system. We also could have found that out, and I forgot about that little step. QC, actually, let's do, if we look at QC, service start name as the local system. So that would have told us, because if it would have been another, like Thomas did it, we would have just ended up at the same place. So we have now a shell as system. Let's see. We can do the same thing as before. We can dump some file. We could do Mimikatz. So let's go ahead and see if we can get that over. So we're gonna do the same thing as before. CD, I think I still have it here. Yeah, here we go. So we're system now, so we could do CD. Okay, and I'm actually gonna URL decode this just to make sure, because what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna, you guessed it, I'm gonna download HTTP server. There's my Mimikatz. See if this works. Otherwise, we could do it another way. Could do a relay, do SMB. So anyway, let's go ahead and probably should do it here. Let's do Mimikatz, and we're gonna do out file color m.exe. Let's hope this works. I do not want to lose my shell. We got it. Beautiful. So now, same as before, we're gonna do PowerShell set -mp preference disable real-time monitoring true. Another thing we can do is we can add what's called an exclusion, which is actually, you know, it can't hurt to run it, especially this one I think has a like a more restricted firewall preference. So we do exclusion path. I think that'll do it. And now we can, that's the good thing about RL wrap. You could install it pretty easily on Kali. I think it's apt-get installed because it keeps your history. So we can just dump the files again, but that's not the name of the file. It is m.exe. So I have my history from my previous shell, which is pretty handy. Let's hope it doesn't die. What happened to my let's see, system shell? I think it got deleted. It did, didn't it? Let's run it again. Still listening. It's there. Make sure we... Aha, okay, got deleted. Before. Maybe it's because I didn't set the defender. I forgot to set the defender prior. So there it is. We have dumped the hashes. We can, same thing, we have now NTLM of the administrator. Hashes do administrator 2. We so now we could do a couple things. We can actually we can kill this one, right? Let's see. Let's go here. Let's see if we can test our theory, because that pretty much does it for the rooms, right? But we can go here. Our Chisel client's still here. We're just going to change it a little bit. And my shell's still here. So we still have that access. And so is this one. So we have a couple ways to go about it. Now I'm going to do 3389. And I'm still going to make sure that, see there's a shell there. I lost my other one. Yeah, I lost this one. Server. So we're listening. Still good, we're still okay. Establish a connection. Connected. I forgot the credentials I use. Right here. So let's see if our nightmare worked, our print nightmare worked. So print. So now we're not listening on port 80. We're on 5598. So let's see if this works. So to -u, if it didn't, we'll try CP. What were the system user? We could just create another user for ourselves, right? 3389. Let's see. I like that. Yeah, ref PC. And let's see. Hey, we have RDP access. Look at that. We cannot do a pass the hash with RDP, but we do have, there it is. Look at that. Server manager, yeah. We have administrator access, admin center. So that pretty much guarantees, as the system user, we can also just Thomas's hash. We can also create more backdoor users with administrative access. So you're able to do the machine two ways. So we could have done this earlier and skipped the whole like unquoted path service exploitation. But I wanted to show print nightmare. I didn't get to do it on the post, so that pretty much does it. A quick recap is we started with the Linux server and compromised a second Windows machine via tunneling and using Socat as a relay for a reverse shell. We dumped some hashes because we were the system user, and then we used Chisel to establish a tunnel between our just so that you can kind of see. So we use Chisel, and this was the interesting one. We use Chisel to establish a tunnel from our last machine, because the last machine could talk to the first Windows machine. Windows 2 could talk to Windows 1 on port 80. We open that port, and we use Chisel to establish a tunnel between those two computers and send it back to the CentOS, which use Socat to send it back to us, to our Chisel server. And we were able to have access via file upload, get a reverse shell, and through more relay. And then because Windows 2 could talk to the CentOS, right? And that was lucky for us. If it couldn't, that could have been a little tough. We would have had to do more relays again through this, you know, just to go through everything. And then we were able to exploit the machine using print nightmare and unquoted path service. So, and dump those hashes. So thank you for watching. Feel free to comment, like, and subscribe, and I'll see you all next time.